in the morning, you brew a cup of tea and you're like, okay, I just brewed my cup of tea. Now, instead, you're like, I'm going to every morning brew this cup of tea and I'm going to fill it with gratitude. So I'm filled with gratitude. And every step I take today is going to have this gratitude infused into it. And it's going to assist me in remembering that I'm grateful and appreciative for the things that I receive and the things that I'm capable and able to do each and every day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. I'm so excited you are here. My life completely transformed when I went from just moving through life blindly to creating sacred rituals. And when I decided to create sacred rituals, my life turned very magical. And it wasn't this like overnight thing, my life was magical, I did this ritual, it was done. No, it was this learning to live a spiritual life by incorporating rituals that created the magic. And I love rituals. Now, you might go, well, what's the difference between a ritual and a habit? A ritual is where you're intentionally putting your focus into it. You're inviting magic in. You're inviting your whatever the intention might be into that particular ritual to support you. And it's so beautiful. Where a habit is done automatically, often sometimes unconsciously or consciously, and there's no intention behind it. It's more of a functionality. Like you might go, okay, I'm going for a walk, and I go for a walk every day at 4 p.m. That can be a habit. Now, where it becomes a ritual, where you put intention behind it. And now the intention is, I'm going for a walking meditation. And when I'm walking, I am one, grounding, and two, I'm setting the intention that I'm going to receive clarity and be more at peace. It's all about the intention, because you can just walk, you can just light a candle, you can just brew a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and it could just be a habit with no intention, no spiritual focus behind it. And for me, I want to live a spiritual life, and every practice, every habit can become a spiritual practice and ritual if you allow it to become that. Does that mean like every single thing that you do, it needs to have an intention behind it? I'm not saying that, because one, that would be really overwhelming in the beginning of doing this type of work, but it can naturally start to become where you're infusing presence, you're infusing intention, you're infusing the direction that you would like the universe to receive by what it is that you are doing. And what I mean by that is, let's say in the morning, you brew a cup of tea and you're like, okay, I just brewed my cup of tea. Now, instead, you're like, I'm going to every morning brew this cup of tea and I'm going to fill it with gratitude. So I'm filled with gratitude. And every step I take today is going to have this gratitude infused into it. And it's going to assist me in remembering that I'm grateful and appreciative for the things that I receive and the things that I'm capable and able to do each and every day. It could be something like that. Or it could just be, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so appreciative. And I'm infusing this cup of tea with love just so I can receive more love. And what happens is your consciousness goes, oh, you want that? And then the universe goes, oh, you want that? Oh, let's infuse that into you, because water has the ability to take on energy, which you are full of tons of water, and so is this tea, and it's full of tons of water, and it infuses into your body and being. And it doesn't just have to be water. It can be anything. And when you create sacred rituals, you bring magic into your life. And you can create different rituals for different purposes. So, for example, you can create grounding rituals. Every morning, you can ground by having a cup of tea or a cup of cacao. Like, I love having cacao in the morning. I will set my intention. I will say my prayer over the cacao. And then I'll do this beautiful sacred ritual where the cacao, the drink, the energy, and I'm infusing very specific intentions into it. And one of them is very specific into grounding into my body and into the present moment and into love. And when I do that, I find that I'm way more present and way more grounded. Now, that's not my only grounding exercise. I might also ground by having a ritual with meditation every morning where I'm meditating, I'm setting the intention for the meditation to help me with grounding into the day and into my body and feeling safe, and to receive clarity throughout the day and to receive guidance whenever I may get confused or discouraged or have something come up where I forget that I'm a powerful being and I am capable of anything. The key is that you are setting very specific rituals for what it is that you're wanting. So we have grounding. So you can do cacao, you can do coffee, you can do tea, whatever beverage. If you want water, if you want electrolytes, doesn't matter what the beverage is in the morning, as long as you are putting your intention into it and you're being very specific in the intention. And so for grounding, you're going to say, I'm grounded and rooted in love. I'm grounded in my body. And you'll notice I've said this several times. I'm grounded in my body. Oftentimes, as society, we want to escape our body. There's painful things that happen in the human body. Sometimes we don't feel good. Sometimes we have a tummy ache. Sometimes we have a headache. Sometimes our hip hurts. Sometimes our back hurts. Sometimes ... There's something always going on, right? Depending on your health. So by saying, I'm grounded in love, I'm rooted in my body, this allows you to start to feel more safe, more rooted and grounded in your physical body and not want to escape this reality. It allows you to be present. You can also do this with some sort of moving meditation. So you can go for a walk and state that you're grounded. You can go for a hike and state that you're grounded. You can do a journaling practice to ground as well. There's many different rituals that you can do for grounding. Let's talk about clarity. I love using rituals for clarity. One of my favorite ways to gain clarity is to specifically set the intention when I'm going into the Akashic records to receive clarity on XYZ. Or I will do an uncensored journaling where I am giving myself permission to unload, unleash everything that is just taking up space in my mind and let it go so I can have clarity come in. So this is just a brain dump. This is an energy dump. Another way that I like to receive clarity through ritual is through movement. So sometimes I'm just like, I'll tell my husband, I'm like, I require some sort of spiritual practice today that's outside of the home. And that might be going to a spiritual gathering where I know we're going to do spiritual practices and rituals, from shamanic breathing exercises to journaling or to doing creative art or even just going to a yoga class, because there is so much energy that's taking up space in my energy field and in my mental body that I require getting outside my house for this. And so I'll just tell my husband, like, I really need some space and time to do this. And I'm sharing this is because I have a toddler and we had to figure out schedules, right? And some of you may have that luxury. Some of you may not have that luxury. Some of you may have kids and some of you may not have kids. Sometimes getting outside of the house is one of the best rituals to break up the energy, to receive clarity. And sometimes the ritual can be just go out and have some fun with your friends. Because having fun, laughing, getting outside of your normal environment with the intention of, I'm just going to have fun and I'm going to receive some clarity without forcing it in. And there's the intention. There's the ritual. The ritual is, I'm going to go have fun. And the intention is, I want some clarity. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Another way to receive clarity can also be to meditate. And meditate can be through any of these rituals. Like, I think that there is all sorts of different forms of meditation, and one of the ways that you can meditate is through guided visualization, and you can look for a very specific meditation on clarity or focus, or you fill in the blank. And you can listen to a guided visualization that will help you receive that by just allowing yourself to be in your body and receive answers to your prayers from the universe, from God, creation. Okay, so now you can also create rituals for all sorts of different things. So you might create a ritual for focus. And that might be to light a candle. Every time you want to work on a project, you light a candle. And that very ritual goes from just lighting a candle with no intention to lighting a candle to focus on whatever it is that you're wanting to focus on. Also, you can use crystals for focus. I love using crystals like fluorite for focus because it's a really powerful crystal that will help direct your energy to where you want it to go and to focus on what it is that you want to focus on. And so you can just hold the crystal and set the intention that it's going to help you. You can grab the crystal, set it on your desk. Maybe you're doing some sort of writing. Maybe you want to journal. Maybe you want to focus on your meditation. Maybe you need help with another ritual to focus on. That's the cool thing about it is you can have different supplies, different trinkets, different things that support you in creating these rituals to bring more magic into your life. And for me, it's anywhere from candles to crystals to drinks, any sort of drink, from waters to teas to coffees to cacao to other herbal elixirs. It can also be different journals and pens. You can also have spiritual clothing where it's like your system is like, ooh, this is my moving meditation where like I'm either dancing or I'm doing yoga or I'm doing some sort of spiritual movement like ecstatic dance where it's like I'm really setting an intention for whatever that spiritual ritual is for that moment that clothing is going to support you with. And it's infused with tons of love. When you start creating rituals and creating practices, what ends up happening is there's so much love that gets infused into those supplies or those tools or those practices that you are doing. I remember going to a retreat in Boulder, and this retreat space was very, very old. And if you looked at it, you're just like, there's nothing really special about this place. Like they have old blankets, everything's old in the building, it needs to be updated. But there was one particular room in this building. You would have never guessed that it was in it. And it was a church, and it was a spiritual church. And there were so many people that prayed in that space. And there was so much love. And there was all these different crystals that were in the space. And the second you walked through the doorway, you could feel this envelope of love just snuggle you up because there's been so much sacred ritual, so much love that was been practiced through different rituals and ceremonies and intentions that the energy has just been infused into the floors, into the walls, into the seats, into the crystals. And it was just magical. And you can create this in your life. You can create this with anything that you want to do. If you have a practice before going to bed, this is a beautiful ritual that you can infuse. You can seriously do a ritual while you're brushing your teeth. Seriously. Like, you can just be like, I'm so grateful for my teeth. I'm so grateful that they're able to chew. I'm so grateful that my body is so strong. You can have a gratitude practice while you're brushing your teeth, or you can have a journal gratitude practice. I think having a gratitude practice is so powerful because it raises your frequency. You can have a ritual where you pray over your food before you eat it and you express gratitude. You can express gratitude first thing when you wake up in the morning. You can express gratitude throughout the day. You can express gratitude in your journal before you go to bed, or you can have a list of things that you just roll through in your head where you are expressing gratitude. There is no set way that this is the way that this ritual has to be done. You are a creative being and you get to decide what that creativity looks like and how you want to create these rituals. And it's all about intention. Infuse the ritual with intention and magic will start to happen. You will start living this most beautiful spiritual life. And I'll say, like, going to the bathroom can become a spiritual practice. And I know that might sound gross to some people, but it's not. Every action that you take in your life can be infused with spirituality. It can be infused with love. It can be infused with direction and intention and whatever else that you want to infuse it with. And so God dwells, or creation dwells within everything, and it dwells within every aspect of our being. And so allow that to come through you and work with you so that you can create the most magical life through sacred practices and rituals, because you deserve it, my friend. You absolutely deserve it. So what rituals are you going to create, and how magical do you want them to be, and what intentions are you going to infuse into them? I would love to hear from you. All right, my friends, please make sure you like and subscribe, share this with a friend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.